Join us,
Can't change
ladies.
our theme song.
Hear the latest gossip, news, relationship issues. Talk juicy, slay juicy. Talk juicy.
Good evening, Juicy Dolls, and welcome to all our juicy listeners. This is episode number 48.
Hey.
Okay, guys, so today we're going to speak on how to recognize mental illness in a relationship. Recently, Kanye West was on the new Dave Letterman show, and he was just speaking on, how he feel about his mental illness and how basically he said how he put it, he has a sprained brain. And when different stressors in life, I'm kind of, summing it up, but different stress in life kind of breaks it. And that could be stress from, your work, stress, especially on his level, social media, things, people saying things. But in life in general, people still have what I can use the phrase as well, a sprained brain, in a sense where you're sensitive to a lot of things that most may not be as sensitive to. And the great thing on our show, we do have a licensed therapist can really dwell more into this topic, but we all, I think, have as individuals in life experienced certain things in our area where you feel like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going crazy. Certain stress happen in your relationship where you see things, or you personally may have done it yourself. You know what I mean? Personally, you may have did things in the relationship where you probably went overboard, especially as women, even when we, I think, get so focused when we have a partner that's cheating, we can get so focused on being a detective, we lose sight of things. You be like, damn, I ain't cooked dinner. I'm up here trying to be a ninja in the night, going through grass and flipping through bushes and get a UV light on his clothes to see if you see any stains and
Smelling everything.
it's just you get so consumed.
Yes.
And then he could be innocent doing something, and we just do a switch. And now we are accusing him of something he's not even doing because our mind are just so focused on that pain and that hurt, and it could take us to a dark place.
Right.
But I'm just talking, that's in general, all women. But some women can take it even further. And, when they do talk about putting your hands on a man, or I remember years ago hearing about a woman who, once the guy moved on, she actually killed, the guy and his new partner. You know what I'm saying? Because it can go that far. But also in a relationship dealing with a man, I know we all say, "Oh, girl, he crazy." No, girl, he is. Something really
wrong.
is wrong. That ain't cute. That ain't right. I mean, so I'll let Yvette talk more about it. But we all got some stories where, and even I just want to say this on Facebook, y'all. Y'all kind of telling on yourselves too, because I'm like, I think something's wrong with this person. Like, things that people are expressing on Facebook and saying a lot of stuff that just seem like, I mean, I'm glad that you guys are expressing, but you probably need to take a little bit more further and seek help. Because it's like, no, this ain't normal, the stuff that they talking about, things that people share. It's like, I guess to me, it's kind of like a cry for help. What you think? When you hear people say different things on Facebook and subliminal messages.
See, I think when people wake up, right, that's the first thing they go to.
It's what, Facebook?
Yeah, so their minds are probably all, the first thing you need to do is probably meditate. You know what I'm saying? Pray, get centered instead of going to Facebook, expressing
Social media, period. Instagram.
But some people don't know how to do that. Their way of letting out is by sharing their process with the world, because they're thinking that somebody on here is going to express that they care for me. So a lot of times it's to get the reaction from someone else. We're looking to be liked. We're looking to have sympathy. We're looking for people to show this tremendous amount of respect and love out of what my situation is. And even though your situation is personal, but people tend to take it to social media a lot because they just want to, they feel this is an opportunity for me to express myself. But some things are best left unsaid and not to be shared all the time, especially on social media, because you don't know or who else may be dealing with this situation, but at the same time, it could be helpful. Because I could be going through the same thing you're experiencing, and then I'm hearing the words of other people, and it's giving me a different type of encouragement. So it's a twofold thing. It's just all about how it's looked at.
Yeah, and who you're, like I said, because you don't know, some people have friends who's not helpful on Facebook. Everybody literally is not your friend on Facebook. People just have friends just to say they got so many people that follow them.
I don't know who half of the people are on my Facebook.
Yeah, that's why I really don't post, because I don't know half of the people, and it's like I don't even talk to you. If you really want to know who I am,
You know
what's
what
going on in my
Facebook's
life.
best feature is that I found?
What's that?
The birthday reminder.
Really?
Because every day when that pops up, I'm like, nope, I don't remember you. Gone. Nope, I don't remember
that's
you.
how you did-
Gone.
that's
Nope,
how you-
don't remember you. Gone. Oh, I remember you. Gone.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, that is, because I don't, you know, I really don't know everybody on Facebook, but you know, I think it's but I think that is true, because you know, a lot, especially with suicide, I've been hearing that a lot lately, and I hear a lot lately on Facebook that a lot of people are seeing these messages of basically it's cries for help. That people don't know how to, especially in the younger generation.
Especially the black community. We don't seek help.
And they seek social media. Basically, people don't seek help, they seek social media, and they try to fish out and see. But basically, which is a good step, because people are
It's a good
expressing.
step, but then at the same time, it's not always good, because some people give the wrong information, and then you mislead a person, and then the first thing that happens, if something goes wrong from what you have said to them, then it's your fault. You know what I'm saying?
So I've been saying someone will write a post and their whole family say pray about it. Sometimes
you need more than prayer, baby.
You need human connection that you're not seeking in your family or your cousins or your boyfriend.
Or somebody outside of that
Outside
circle,
your family,
because sometimes family can be biased of the situation, and because mental health has been such a stigma, especially in the African American community, that a lot of times they think, oh, if you seeking help, you must be really crazy or something's really going on. You don't need that. All you need is Jesus, or just talk to Big Ma, or just talk to this person. You should be fine. They don't push it and say, no, you need to sit down with someone and talk, because there's something going on. I mean, we have talked about it numerous times before, of how we have all had maybe a relative or something that somebody may have lived upstairs or in the attic or wherever it may be, and they, oh, that's just such and such, let him be or let her be, and no one ever tells you what the situation is, and you grow up like, oh, my uncle just slow, or that's my cousin, she a little off, but you have no idea of what the mental illness that's behind of what she has. No one ever expressed it. No one ever went to get help for it. They just left from there.
It's not funny, but I had a friend, and like growing up as a kid, her uncle lived upstairs, and one day, all these years, we had to deliver the food. I'm scared because I ain't never saw the man. Been over her house, doing backflips, making all the time. Never saw him. She go through the door and go, and there goes some friendly guy just like, hey, you know, he just took his food and shut the door. I'm just like,
who is that?
He's been here this whole, like, I was just scared to see him, and he was just a skinny, smiling guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
right.
like,
And
why
know why he's up here like
why
this.
Can't he why can't he eat dinner
at the table?
Because he probably threw a tantrum, and they did, not knowing how to handle it.
Yeah.
The best thing for you to do is to stay to yourself.
Yeah.
And so, everyone talks about the rise of autism, but the thing is, it's because we don't put a name to things till like late in the game. After these things have been out, we were so used to calling people just mentally retarded.
Right.
And that is such a terrible word to use, but that's exactly what they were called. You didn't have really a name for half of the things that was going on, besides your normal bipolar and, those things of that nature. And now people take bipolar and they just use it to their advantage.
With it. Yeah.
Now it becomes
everybody's bipolar.
Literally, because you have a change of, your mood change. Oh,
now
you bipolar. No, understand the definition and what you're putting on a person. Just don't say something because it's the new term or it sounds good. Or so many people are saying, oh, I've been diagnosed with bipolar. Probably so, but then sometimes it's not even bipolar. Sometimes it's just the simple fact is you have a mood disorder. You have a personality disorder, which a personality disorder is bipolar, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that you fit every category of bipolar.
Yeah.
But they want to fit into everything.
It's a large spectrum.
It's large, but everybody want to be in it, though. But now we're dealing with so much, not only just with the mental illness, we're dealing a lot with substance abuse and mental illness. A lot of times that go hand in hand. A lot of people that use also have a mental disorder. And a lot of times they use because they don't know how to feel normal. And so to them, using help them to feel like they're normal when they're completely not normal. And so this is a way of covering up things, or they feel to stop the voices in their head. It keeps them calm. It makes them more relaxed. And that's just not the truth.
And
I wouldn't say that.
Huh?
I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't say what?
Because when I smoke, I actually, I'm calm. Like, when I smoke a little
That's
bit.
marijuana. There's a difference between
I
marijuana.
was about to say, that's not true, because I noticed somebody who always had, mental illness, but never would go seek help. So I'm in that category of people. I made an appointment, but I had to cancel because I had a performance. But, but
I'm sad to ask you what's more important.
the performance.
Okay, well,
I had to do my makeup and hair and all that stuff. But anyway, marijuana, yeah. So I smoke a little bit. I be calm, and I be good.
but
It helps me.
everybody don't have the same.
I just found my
effects.
process though.
And that's the thing. But see, everybody is different, so everything doesn't work the same for everybody.
No. I just found my process. I finally decided, hey, I'm gonna get out of this. So I meditate. I have to wake up, even if it's like 5:30 in the morning, and light my candles and sit in silence and meditate and listen to ocean sounds.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes you have to find things outside of the box to do that works for you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still good to see someone so you can be properly diagnosed and you can properly know what you need to do and what you need to look for.
Yeah, it's about taking that first step.
Yeah, because
It's not that hard,
when the
y'all.
signs come back up, then you're like, my meditation is not working, or this is not working right now, because regardless of what you're doing, when something creeps back up, it creeps back up regardless of what's going
force.
on. Yeah. And so it's all about being able to recognize your signs. Oh, when I know I'm about to crash again.
And also, I have spotters. I call them spotters. So when they spot me, acting, I feel like people with mental illness need somebody to say, hey, what's going on? You acting a little strange. You're not acting like you did a few weeks ago. So I think you need to surround yourself with support. So if you don't have no one, this is when you really seek help, when you seek a therapist.
Yeah. And that's the main thing. A lot of times.
Hobbies. What do you love?
Exactly. What is it something
Get
that you
out
can
that
do?
house.
And that's the thing. It's hard to drag someone out the house who's suffering from depression. And people think that it's just a issue where you should be able to get up and move. That's not the truth.
Oh, no.
Depression,
That's the last thing you wanna
that's
do.
the last thing you want to do. When depression hits hard, it hits. And there's nothing you can do to make that person get over it. And people think it is really that simple, and it's not. But those things are not to be ignored, because in those stages, that's when you have your suicide. Because now you at a place that you feel that there's no hope. You don't see anything. You're not listening to nothing. You're not hearing anyone.
Yeah.
All you hearing is your own thoughts and how bad your life is right now. And it's hard to get from that.
Yeah.
So it's about having compassion. It's about having support. And in therapy, and even a lot of groups that I've done, I have always talked about who is your support system. What is it that's around you who supports you? How is your family life? How is the life of your friends? What is those connections for you? Because it's always important to have people in your life who's going to support you. A lot of times, don't get me wrong, I am a strong believer in Christ, but he gave us these different things here for a reason, for us to help each other. And a lot of times we want to tell people just to rely on their faith and rely on God. And sometimes it doesn't work for
Depression,
them.
you lose that faith.
Yeah,
Right.
you do.
So you just rely
And
on
he's
your
not
own
saying I'm not here for
craziness.
you, but at the
you're
same
not.
time,
Yeah.
right, God is trying to show you there's people that I placed in your life for that particular reason and for to help you. And a lot of people don't look at that. They just think you can just pray your way out of things. No, you can't. Prayer is a powerful thing, and it works and it helps. But also, it's that tangible thing that we need, something that we can touch, feel, and know that is like right there, that when I call you, you're really going to answer. And I can hear a voice on the other end.
Right.
And sometimes that's what we need to pull us up out of different situations, as well as the prayers that go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But some people just look past a lot of different things and feel like, oh, I don't need a therapist right now because this is going on, or it's too much, or I don't want to pay. I don't want to take out the time. I don't want nobody in my business. I don't want nobody telling me what I need to do.
Or I'm just completely embarrassed. I mean, because even in relationship, like when you see your partner, people are embarrassed.
And then a lot of it is, it's not going to work because nothing ever works, right? So a lot of doubt.
With doubt, and also a lot of doubt, but also you just feel you don't want everybody, like I say, in your business. A lot of people don't want, because you already got enough things going on in your life. The last thing you need somebody else in your business sharing things that you feel like, you know what, you can't help me. Why am I wasting my time talking to you? I already know what I got to deal with. I've been dealing with for years. It ain't never changed. It ain't gonna change. And that's kind of how you get in that stoop. And then that's how you can recognize your partner, because
it's all in the mind.
Literally, and you can see, and especially if you have a partner, you see them, and you can see the change in them, and you can see basically, okay, when someone you can see them literally sinking deeper, and literally deeper into something where they can't shake it, and that's where you need to. Sometimes people can't. They so deep in their head, they can't come out. Basically, like in what is it? Get Out. They going in that sunken place.
Oh yeah, going in the sunken place.
And literally, people are walking around in this sunken place, and they functioning. You think they
laughing.
They laughing.
Go out.
But when they get that time alone, it's
awful.
So it's a mess.
And that's because that's a mask that we wear. And it's so unfortunate, and especially when we're in relationships, we put on a front, we put on this face that's not real to the world. And that's because that's what we're used to doing. We're used to showing face and not thinking about what's really, truly going on.
Yeah.
And so we don't know of how to actually be in a place of being vulnerable and reaching out for help. Like we was mentioning about the people that go on social media and reach out for help. Sometimes it's just the wrong audience at times. You don't know who you're speaking to, and you don't know who's replying back to you, who actually got your best interest.
Right.
And so a lot of times, though, that's what make that platform not always the good way of trying to seek help. If you need help, then find the help, because it's available. It's so many therapists and so many different things out there nowadays. All you have to do is Google anything, and you can find what you need. You can even go on YouTube these days. It's so many things you can find to get the assistance that you need, or find someone that you trust that can help you out in your situation.
And I've heard a lot of people say things like, or no one understands. Literally, there's somebody going through the same thing, where there's literally people who understand. I see that. No one understands. Yes, they do.
Well, that's how you feel when you go on things like no one
You're
can
so
help
alone,
you. Basically, you're alone.
Emptiness is an awful feeling.
It's an awful
It is.
feeling.
You feel empty. You feel empty and helpless and hopeless.
It's
and I
awful.
see I see a lot of this in African American women, especially going through postpartum and can't shake it. A lot of women, I've had babies who are over a year, still going through this dark space. You know what I mean? And it's like, dang, you know what? I'm talking to them, and they're like, yeah, I can't shake it. Basically, that's what they say. I can't shake it. I can't get out of this. I don't know what it is. And they do work. They have their other kids. They come home, but then at that moment, they's like, I still can't shake it. I'm just going through the motions like a robot. You know what you got to do. You do it. You go to work. You get your kids. You feed them. But you feel like a robot because it's not you. You feel so empty. You feel like no one understands. You feel alone. You feel sad. You don't feel joy. You know what I mean? And it's just like, what is that? They don't get it. They don't understand it. They just feel like, I've been dealing with it, but who can I turn to for help? You know what I mean? And some have sought out, therapy. But, some just, some people sway away from it because, again, it is that stigmatism of, unfortunately, speaking to somebody. But some people only need that one time, that one session to say, hey, just lay it all on the table.
And sometimes, to be honest, some people, we have a lot of therapists out here, and some of them are just not good. I'm just going to be honest. They're not. They don't practice their craft, and they don't really care about people. It was just, this is a good career. Let me go ahead and get involved, or they get burnt out themselves. And so they cannot give, a lot of who they are to that person because they're in a place of burnout. And so they're ineffective. And so a lot of times people leave, and because at the same time we are such a quick generation nowadays of where we at in life, we want everything fast in a hurry. We want we want you to prescribe what's going on with me right now. Give me the medication if I need it right now, and that's
Make
it.
me happy.
And that
Fix
does
me.
not work. Sometimes it takes time because you're talking about when you're going through therapy, we're digging back in layers of your life. As you know, some people have even coined it and turned it as looking at an onion. You know, when you got to peel back so much of it. And so when we're constantly in a place of trying to peel back of what's going on, you're not going to get a quick fix. Sometimes we have to go through the layers of your life to figure out where did the trigger happen? What happened to bring you to this spot? Was this something that always been going on in your life, or is this something new that just recently occurred? A lot of times things are traced back to your youth. It's not always just something that's current.
Yeah, so
I say
so
that.
what-
That's my key. Whatever's wrong with you happened when you was a child.
So what I did was I started my own therapy. I literally started my own paper. I had a notebook, and I wrote down birth. I did a chart on myself. I don't know if this is normal, but I did a chart on myself, and I did stems. And then when I got to the issue, I wrote down the issues, and I started working on them.
That was good. That was really good.
Cause I'm like, I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I can get over this. You know,
you can do
Yeah.
it. We
when
have the
it
power.
It took me so when my brother died, I was like, okay, shit got real quick. I was like, oh, let me get my act together just in case, because I don't know when my time is coming. I need
You never
to
know.
live life and live in the present moment, which I didn't know how to do. I was always thinking about the future instead of processing the now and realizing how awesome. Like, now I know life is awesome now.
Yeah, and a lot of people, have begun to try to teach people to practice mindfulness because it helps you to focus on everything that's in the now. Because when you're so focused of everything else,
I just learned
you lose life because you're no longer
I lost
living.
a lot of it. I lost a lot of it.
You're so focused about what's going to happen here, there, and there, and you're not concentrating on the here and now.
I forgot.
You can't worry about
You're
it.
not worried about how you live in life. And what's so funny with mindfulness is that in the Bible, it talks about don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow take care of itself, but worry about your present time. Just live within the day. And we have taken that and we have not made that a part of our lives because we've been so much focused of always saying, even when you at jobs, they tell you, oh, what's your 5-year plan? Well, I haven't even thought that far about 5 years. I'm actually thinking about what's my plan right now. And I remember they used to ask these questions. I always wondered, why are you asking me my 5-year plan? If I say the wrong answer, are you going to fire me? You know what I'm saying? Put people at a different disposition because it's like, okay, well, how do I answer that? I don't see myself working for you in 5 years, but if I tell you that, how is it going to affect my job or my raise? So how do I get past this question? And so we done got to a point of where we want to set up our lives and make these timelines for things we need to meet.
Like they say, prepare for retirement. I'm about to party hard right now.
Exactly, because you don't know. And that's the thing.
I don't know.
But see, a lot of that comes
I
from
pay for a car repair. How about that?
Exactly. But you have to think about it. A lot of those behaviors and things that have come about happen based on life experiences of what they experienced in their life. And so what happened was they took it and said, oh, okay, well, let's run with it. This should be able to work for everybody. And that's not the truth because they have taken something because they have went through the Great Depression. They have been in slavery.
That generation is out cold anyway.
They were completely out cold.
I don't want to talk about them.
They some hardcore. They can handle some stuff. Like my mother generation,
Hey.
they can handle it. They can
Yeah.
handle it.
But at the same time, they handle it in a different way, but it's not always the healthiest way.
It's not.
No, it's
because
they're the They need to call that instead of the what they call
the baby
it?
boomers.
They need to call them the poker face.
Yeah,
They've
because
been
they'll lie
raped.
to you quick.
They've been raped,
Molested,
they've been
everything.
on
Everything.
drugs,
Everything.
they've been homeless, living on the streets, but they
Yeah.
won't tell you nothing.
They've been
No?
abused,
Been
mentally,
abused.
physically. I mean, it's been so much.
And it been and
Poker face.
And they won't
Yep.
tell. And they won't tell their children all they've been. And that's
No.
the issue because that generation was a generation where they don't tell.
They didn't tell nothing.
They don't tell anything.
And then they turned around and taught us the same way. Don't
Yeah.
tell, don't talk about it. What happens in this
Yeah.
house stays in the house.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, but daddy just, knock my tooth out. Don't
Right.
say nothing to nobody.
Yeah,
know?
you keep everything in the house.
You keep everything in the house, and this is
Yeah.
where situations begin to build up.
Yeah, this is where it starts stemming. And I think that's the core of everything. I think you really have to just recognize. Like I say, sometimes it just you
Look
feel
in the
like,
mirror. That's what I did. I jumped.
oh my
I
God.
said, "Who was
But
that?"
you do have your moments.
To
So I
face
mean,
yourself as a beast.
it's like you have
I'm
your moments
telling
in life. You
you,
get
if
so
you are going through it right now, turn your phone off. I
Don't go on- don't go on social media.
I deleted Facebook.
yeah,
Delete your.
that's the wrong
mean,
thing.
Just get it off your phone.
Except for Talk Juicy.
Except for talk to
Just,
still
Really?
still keep podcast Detroit
Yeah, just-
on your phone. So you can listen to
Don't
us.
lose that connection.
Don't lose that.
But
You
besides that, I'm
completely
telling you, just
disconnected.
look in the mirror. Do you look like you?
That's the first thing to go. Okay, so as a therapist,
Because I ain't
so
look like me.
what
I
is
don't know who the hell- who the hell that
what
was.
are the tell signs of, you know what, this is more than you just having a bad day? Like you having more, what are the tell signs in a relationship where, you know what, honey, I think you need to seek help? So
A lot of times what happens is that the person becomes isolated.
Mm-hmm.
And once you see them kind of isolating themselves away, and they're usually a more outgoing person, then all of a sudden they kind of withdraw back. And it's like, okay, so what's kind of going on here? And then once they begin to withdraw, their conversation changes.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes about things that's maybe a little bit more too serious. And it's like, why you always, so serious about everything? What's going on? Or also too, they begin to drop a little bit in their hygiene. They don't care as much of how they look, how they dress, how they smell. It just becomes like, I'm just here. And so these are some of your stages that you have to watch, and especially the conversation is a key point, because people will always tell you, especially when something is truly going on with them, in how they talk. Because you can see the expression on their face, and they're so serious, and then they have a blank stare. And so we are taught to look at the affect of a person, and that means, what is the affect? What is the face? What is the body language telling you? And a lot of times when people talk, when they're experiencing some type of mental breakdown, it's very flat. And so when you look at them and talk to them, it's really no emotion. You see a void of emotions with them.
I was like that for a full year at work. Can you imagine? I'm like, what? Hello. That's what I was saying. I was like, how am I still working here?
Yeah.
Hello. They're like, you good, fam? No. What do you want? You know what I'm saying? It was just really bad.
yeah.
I mean, just really bad. So I say for the single parents, if your kids is saying, can you please get up? That was alarming for me. I was like, huh? Please get up and fix me something to eat. Please. I was like, oh, okay. Now this has spilled over a little bit too long. Let me clean
Right.
up. Now, if your kids are noticing things like, mommy, are you okay? Daddy, are you okay?
Oh, what's
But
wrong
kids
with
would
mommy?
kids would pick it up faster because
They sure do.
they
Yeah.
they
Quick.
watch and they see a
Yeah.
difference in their parents.
If you're
sure
not playing
do.
with the kids,
Right.
Or
If you're not being that person that they know you to be, then
Yeah.
it's like something's not
So,
right.
What's wrong with mommy?
For
What's
the
wrong
Right.
with
single,
daddy?
for the
Daddy
single
okay?
parents, if you are struggling right now, look yourself in the mirror. Do you look like you? Do you feel like you? Are you thinking like you? Because that other head, that voice in your head actually came from your childhood. It's actually your mommy voice, your daddy voice, your uncle voice. It ain't your voice.
somebody's
It's not
voice.
yours.
But at the same
You
time,
gotta find
seek
your voice.
help. Get help.
Find your
Don't
voice
sit on
and
your
seek.
don't sit on yourself and know that you are more important than what you allow yourself to believe and to think. You have to take mental health serious.
It is
The same
so
as if you go to the
serious.
doctor because you're sick, because you feel there's a pain in your stomach or whatever, you have a bad headache, a migraine you cannot get rid of. It's the exact same thing. The only thing is you have more of a physical attack when you're sick that way, but at the same time, when it's your mental illness, it's the same exact symptoms.
still have physical?
You can have a
Yeah,
physical
you
body
sure.
element
Stroke?
that's going on.
Just like John
Exactly.
Singleton died at 51.
Yes.
You people stroke out. I mean, I always tell people, I think I was talking to you about it. As people go to the dentist, they go to see their doctor, I think annually, like to have annual dentist appointments, annual physical appointments, they need an annual mental health appointment.
Right.
And I don't understand why that's not a norm. You know,
Because
that should be
insurance,
a norm.
because insurance wouldn't pay for it at first. They just
Yeah,
now getting on
that's
board
definitely should
to
be a
say,
norm.
okay, we need to pay for more things with mental illness because
and
you
you'll
found
check.
so many people.
People
Right.
need to check. Hey,
need
how
to
you
check.
doing? What's going on? What happened this year?
So
You know?
we've been talking about adults for a while. What about the children who've been committing
Oh
suicide?
my God! You know what? I think you know what. To me personally, I hate to sound like some old woman talking because of social media, but honestly, I think social media plays such a major part in this because again, growing up, I didn't hear as many kids. Again, it wasn't social media, but we still had the news. So people
Yeah.
reported out. It wasn't like this. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you didn't hear all these kids committing suicide because I think the stressors of life. They looking at social media. They're getting bullied. Not just we only got bullied in school. They getting bullied on social media
Yeah.
from different people. They coming at them at different angles. Your brain can only take so much.
Yeah,
Especially
because
when
you
you're
can't.
developing,
You
too.
talking about I'm leaving school and now I'm at home on social media and I'm still getting bullied.
Yeah, it's
I
too
can't run
much.
away from the people that's bothering me.
It's
They're
too
forever
much.
there.
It's
You know,
too-
it's like,
and it
what's going
forever
on?
stays. It stays. Social media, you know, you can be friends. You can cut somebody out, be friends the next day. That post stays.
But
People
then
pass
also,
them
too,
off. It's
and-
just
and-
a lot.
Parents,
That
this is
statement only
not
go
a
for
shot
Virgos.
against you.
Huh?
The statement only go for Virgos. You can cut somebody out and be friends the next day.
Baby, we cut you off. And where Virgo cut you off, though.
But then, yeah.
Yeah, in a way they would. Not really, though.
I
They give
do.
you a try.
I try to.
But you were surrounded by Leo, so they don't-
I can't stand Leo.
I'm a Leo.
I know.
Really?
All my Leo, and I have nothing but Leo friends.
and they know how to be like, girl, bye, come on,
And it
let's go out
cuts
to
me.
eat.
Yeah, and it's over with. And I had no choice but to get over it. That's how I go. I act tough, but I literally had no choice.
Nobody
They-
listen to
They
her.
don't listen to me.
Like, just
I'm like plankton sometimes.
tried to
I'm
You know
like
why?
plankton.
Because Leos are very aggressive in nature, and so a lot of times we like to control things, and so regardless of how you think you may feel, it's like, girl, we ain't gonna stop being friends because of this. You know, we just gonna push past it and keep it moving.
But I don't want to though. It's like, I want to deal with that shit right here and now. I ain't got time for that shit.
You know why? Also, too, Leos are, and you know, I am a Leo, so maybe that's why I'm, you know, boosting it up some. But we are extremely loyal to a fault. And because of our loyalty and our friendships, we hold it at a special place. And when it's ruined for us or something happens in that relationship, that's when it's like, okay, now I'm going to cut it off. But we give
Yeah.
chances a lot because friendships and things means a lot to a Leo. And so
Yeah.
that's why we hold on to them. But when they're damaged into a place where there's no repairing, we cut it off.
Well, it's Gemini season, so everybody be quiet.
It is Gemini season.
Okay, I say my for Virgo season.
I had a couple of Geminis, you know, in my family.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Virgos is a special person.
No.
But back to the children that dealing with mental illness, that dealing with bullying and all this suicide that's going on. It's a lot of suicide, you know, and like I was saying, you know, parents is not a shot at you, but it somewhat is, you know, take it however you feel. I like to be straightforward. I'm not the type of person that sugarcoat things for anybody to make you feel good. Sometimes I would if it's necessary. But the thing is this, we don't teach our kids enough of coping skills. What we do is say, just let them be.
Self-worth. I don't remember
Yeah.
one self-worth conversation. Know your worth. You know how powerful that is?
But the thing is,
you can't
no,
say that because I was.
You're
nah.
my sister from a
Nah,
mother.
nah,
like
but
from
still,
a sister.
I'm an older
That don't-
sister.
That don't
That's
count.
fine.
Like
It
I
do
was
count.
It don't count.
It
do
don't.
count.
It
I
doesn't.
swear to God, it don't
It
count.
doesn't.
What?
You know why? Because even though I'm hearing it
You're
from
my
you,
sister.
sometimes I need it from my mother.
You
I
need it
need
from-
it
that's
from
true.
her.
That
I
is
need
my
it from my
sister.
dad. I need somebody to validate
Girl,
me.
I just moved past that shit. That's it. That's one thing. Some shit you just ain't gonna get.
What time?
You're not gonna get it. But at the same time,
I'm just
when
talking
you're
about in
talking,
those
but
tender moments.
when kids,
Yeah.
and even adults, if you don't have any coping skills to deal with life
That's true.
and situations, you find yourself in a place of becoming down and being the victim all the time because you haven't found a way to navigate through
So
it.
no coping skills.
No coping skills.
Yeah.
And so regardless if I tell you how great and wonderful and beautiful you are, but if your friends down the street who you take more validation in their words, because when kids at a certain age, they no longer listen to what parents has to say. They're listening to their peers.
Correct.
And so if my peers
Correct.
feel that I'm this way or I'm dirty
It
or I'm
must
this
be.
or I'm that,
It
it
must
must
be.
be the truth.
And that's why I'm instilling my daughter now. cut them bitches off. I literally say that.
You know, I was talking to my daughter the
Cut
other
them off.
day, and
Cut
I
them
said,
little
you
bitches
know,
off. You don't need them
listen,
around you.
I said, what would be a good
No.
show? I said,
Cut
we need to.
everybody.
Huh?
You actually say cut everybody.
She's looking at everybody else.
No, because at the end of the day, if you, I try to tell, you know what?
But you have to like.
I got to talk to my daughter raw because again, did we in a day and time of social
No,
media?
you talk to me, Rob, but you still.
Huh?
It's still a little. She still don't get it. I see that in her.
Oh, she gets it.
She get it now.
Oh no,
Okay.
she gets it now. You know, she gets it because we talk all the time, and that's a good. You know, I'm trying to keep that open dialogue with her. And
That's very
when
important.
certain things happen, she's like, "Oh, Ma, you was right." At first, she tried to be
Yeah,
defensive.
she
That's,
did.
and she
She
be
did.
defensive. She still, you know, she tried to be in the beginning. And now when she see what I was saying came about with them little friends of hers, she's like, "Oh, Ma, you was right. I gotta stay focused. I gotta do that." I'm like, "Yeah," because you know when people get jealous,
Yeah.
when they see
I
you
be telling
doing
her, I
things,
be like, your mama be on it.
when you be I said you can't go to these certain places with certain people because they're jealous of you and they can put you in harm's
same
way.
Conversation. Yep.
They
That's
will
true.
put, people will
That's
put
true.
you. I told her. I said the devil works in kids too. Don't just, I tell her that devil work through anybody
Work
who's
through
a,
anybody.
who's an open vessel to work
Right.
And
through.
I
And
know
then,
that's
and then
careful.
also, too,
I know that's
you don't
scary.
know their home life. And if you don't know their home life, you don't know what you're dealing with.
I don't know her
You're-
mama.
Exactly.
I
so
didn't see
you're
her at the
dealing with
birthday
anybody.
parties. I don't know what they do the day to day.
So what do
Exactly.
you suggest for parents who have preteens and teenagers at the moment who are
Yes.
inward, who are
Tie them up because these kids are something different. No, I'm just playing.
But I know
But
some
honestly,
parents have talked to me about that. Their kids are isolating themselves and they're isolating themselves.
even in the house, you forget they home.
Yeah.
that's a bad sign. You never let your child get into a place of their
How
being
you get 'em
solitude
out?
by themselves. You have
Mm-hmm.
to begin to do things with them, take them out. They're still young, so you have
Very
you have
impressionable.
you have the reins to say, okay, come out your room, let's talk or let's go out. The best way to talk to kids a lot of times is give them something that they're interested in to talk to them about. So if you're riding in the car, they cannot escape the car. So they have no choice but either talk back or try to ignore the situation. But they can't do anything when they're riding.
Oh, someone's calling.
Oh, I'm like, what is that noise?
See the number. Can you press it? I'm sorry,
1 second,
guys.
caller.
Don't hang up, caller. We have to. Well, caller, just
Call back.
back.
We wasn't ready for that.
We weren't ready for that one yet. I don't know who called that.
Oh,
Can
should
you
I
see?
sit over here? Can you guys hear me?
Can you
Yes,
see the
we
number?
can.
Who called? Can you press it?
Dave should have taught me this.
Oh,
She's the
yeah.
new engineer for the night. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Cleo Blue. But with kids, they do isolate themselves and they pull themselves away.
Right.
And what happens is a lot of times as parents, we notice the signs, but then we don't because we're so
Right.
caught up in our own lives that we forget that something is going on with my child. And so the best thing to do,
You see?
okay,
it?
caller.
Okay, caller. Just
Hang-
keep calling. Just keep calling. We gotta
Hang
wait.
with us for a minute
Hang
here.
on. We gotta wait for Dave to come back in the room. I'm sorry, guys. We don't know how to answer the
Is it
phone.
something on that side?
You see it, caller?
Caller, how are you? What's your name?
How y'all doing today?
Oh, we already know. Hey, Lulu.
What I see there?
That's Nada.
That's who?
That was
Hey,
Nada.
caller. Hey, caller. How you doing today? What you have any concerns about the topic?
What is the topic? I just
Oh,
I know. I'm
we
sorry.
was
I got
deep
the
in it
number
too. You
We're talking about mental health and with relationships, and now we're talking about it with kids.
What as a parent?
Oh, okay.
What as a parent do you suggest? Like, if you see your child going, being quiet and inward, how would you
isolated. yeah.
isolated? How would you work with your child to help them and to get them help?
Because we're talking about now we basically talking about mental health and suicide, and now we talking about teens. A lot of teens that
Okay.
commit suicide. You know, as a mother, what do you suggest if you see your kid isolating himself and not being themselves? What do you suggest to other parents, or have you been through it, and what have you done to help your child?
Well, I would say communication is first key. I have been through it, and I haven't really shared it with anybody.
Okay.
And something that I did not know that one of my children have tried it. And it really broke my heart because I didn't see the signs. You know, forward to secrecy. not to say something because this person didn't want everybody calling or saying anything. But in the midst of it, I ended up writing my child an email because I thought that's how I expressed myself. They didn't want to talk about it. So I expressed it in the email. I apologize for my behavior, any signs that I missed, and let the person know that their life is valuable. Mm-hmm. Don't let nobody think that it's not. If you have any issues going on or any difficulties, find somebody to talk to. Even if it's not me, even if it's not their father, my sister, anybody. Because it's like they feel like my family is not trustworthy. If you tell one person, they tell somebody else, and then that person brings it to their attention. So it's like, I don't tell nobody because it's always get around. And I experienced something with my daughter when I was going through a divorce. She was very quiet, didn't really say much, like it didn't bother her. And she had a challenge day in school, maybe a few months ago. And they had to write what was their challenges. And she texted me and she said, Mom, I finally cried. I said, what you mean? And she said, about you and my daddy. Aww. And I said, okay, we'll talk about it when I get home. And she had me a letter. And it said, I apologize to you that I didn't believe you, that you're my best friend and my daddy hurt you. And I didn't know how bad it was, and it bothers me that I can't focus anymore. So I had to talk to her, and I told her what me and your dad went through was between me and him. Yes, it affected the family, but at the same time, he still loves you. And what we're going through is not a direct hit towards her. So it's like sometimes we don't even know what our own kids is going through as parents. We think we're doing the right thing, but our kids are hurting. And, it broke my heart for my child to tell me that because I had no clue at all. So now it's like I'm always watching. I'm always asking questions. And I'm like, can you just please stop? That was last time. I ain't that way no more. But it bothered me because I thought I couldn't share it because I didn't want to betray my child's trust. So I kept it to myself. This is the first time I really shared it. Wow.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing because, a lot of parents, that's what we were saying, a lot of parents are going through this. A lot of kids, I don't know, like growing up, like I say, I don't know what the cause may be. I'm thinking, personally, I feel social media plays a big part. And I just don't remember, personally, I don't remember hearing on the news. I'm just talking about personally in life, in my circle, definitely not in my circle of friends or even in nearby schools or somebody committed suicide. I never heard of that growing up. Never seen it on the news. Only thing I may have heard growing up back when kids were, saying they was homosexual and they didn't feel belong. They didn't feel, and even though that's still today a case. But growing up, I did hear that. But that was like the only isolated cases where kids really didn't feel like they was part of life, like no one loved them. They couldn't be straight. They couldn't be themselves. They just say, I just want to be out this world because I can't be who I truly am. And, but that was like them cases where that was it.
Yeah, but see, the thing is this. Only reason I don't blame social media because working with kids, and I have worked with children for a good while as a therapist, and I have come to find out that a lot of the issues stems from the parents.
Always.
It stems from the household. Yeah. It don't really have anything to do with the kids that's bullying them. That becomes another problem. That's a different type of situation. But a lot of times it's the parents. And because we get so trapped and so engaged and engulfed in our lives that we don't look at their lives anymore. And when they're, you think about it, when you have a baby for the first time and they're an infant, every time they cry or they need or something happen or they fall, we go to their rescue. We're there. We're holding them. We're comforting them. We're giving them the love and support they need. But when they get to a certain age in life, we back off. So it's like now that they're crying for help or they still say, I need that support, we're no longer interested or invested in that anymore. Yes. Now we invested in working.
Speaking of that, when
wow, you just cut me off. I was
sorry.
flowing
I'm
there.
just saying, just saying, when we become teenagers, most black communities, you're on your own at 18. But I think that's the tender moment.
No, it's not 18. It's younger than that.
Yes, or maybe younger than that.
I was younger I was young. I wasn't even a teen.
So I think it.
You know what I mean? Handling business. I was young, handling business.
I know
early
that
20, that's what I think we need.
When my oldest daughter began to experience mental health issues, it was at a point that I was just I was in school. I was in my bachelor's program. for psychology, and I didn't recognize a lot of the signs until I began to read it. And then I started seeing different things that she was doing. And then it began to dawn on me, something is not right. And I need to pay more attention. And then I started noticing cuts on her arm. And I'm like, and I asked her, I said, hey, you know, how did you get these cuts on your arm? And she was, oh, I fell against the bed, or I scratched myself playing volleyball, basketball, whatever that it was all these excuses. And I'm like, she's lying. But I don't want to confront her and tell her she's lying. I need her to be comfortable enough to come to me and let me know what's going on. But I'm going to keep watching and asking her each time I see a new cut what happened. So she'll know that I'm aware of it, but I'm not going to push her with it. And so I noticed that when she was becoming a lot more isolated into herself, I knew there was problems. I didn't know how to address them because I was new to the field, and the only thing I've been taught growing up as a child and into a young woman was to just pray.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't know a way of handling her situation. And so even talking with my sister and like, hey, you know, there's some issues going on with her. I don't know what's happened. I need somebody to take her and talk with her because she's not sharing with me. And so once I let it ride and just kind of let her know that I'm there, she wrote me a letter. And she told me that she has been cutting herself for a couple of years now, and that she needed help because she doesn't know how to stop. And I was like, oh
That's
my
powerful.
God. It was powerful
Because
because
your subtle notices was like magnified. She
It was
like,
magnified,
whoa.
and I-
She was like, oh, someone sees.
someone sees that something is going on.
Yeah.
And so what I started to do, I started, her dad wanted to take a different approach. First she's like, oh, let's put her on medication. Let's do this. Oh, she's going to be locked up. We need to, she needs to stop playing volleyball. I said, no, don't take her from what she loves because that gives her an out. Let her be able to have a place where she's able to have that out to express herself and get some of her anger out. Because when you remove things from them, it makes the situation worse.
Yes.
And so I kept her busy and doing things. And when I noticed that she was falling back into a depression, I started taking her out of her room. If it means let's go out to dinner, let's go for a ride, let me teach you how to drive, let me show you this. I started
powerful.
doing things with
Yeah, you
her
gotta get 'em out.
to move her out of the situation and to get her mind to thinking about other things in life and preparing her for what's to come in her life.
Right.
So I didn't want her to stay stuck in her depression because when she get there,
So now she know
gets
to
there.
get to moving.
She know to get to moving, and that she needs to do something or she needs to talk to somebody.
I just learned that.
Yeah, and you don't know. And then as parents, as Lucinda was mentioning, when a family is broken and the family dynamics is down, even if the father is not in the home, a lot of times kids are going to express that situation because they feel in some type of way of, why does he not love me enough to stick around?
Right.
Why does he not care enough for me to do this for me? Why does it feel like that, I'm his child, but he doesn't even see me?
Right.
And so kids carry that with them through life. And then they begin to express it in different ways. I always tell people, watch different signs. I used to always tell my parents, just because a child doesn't say anything, you can be able to tell what's going on through their behavior. I said, because anytime you're hurting, it's going to show up somewhere in your life. Either it's going to show up with how you keep up with your chores. It's going to show up somewhere in their lives. They're going to explode. Somewhere along the line, they're going to do something that's going to show you there's a problem here. So a lot of times parents get mad and say, oh, well, you didn't do this. Look at your room. Look at this. Why are you gaining so much weight? Because it's a shield. It's a cover for them. So a lot of times if I'm putting on all this weight, it's to cover me. So sometimes as a girl, and even as myself growing up, when I went through my own little stages of depression, I was dealing with so much and so many times that I came close to being raped and different things like that. I felt if I made myself look more of a guy or dressed in baggy clothes, they wouldn't touch me anymore.
Right,
so that's the mentality of a child.
Right.
So they're not thinking on the level of an adult, and sometimes we don't even think right. But as a kid, we don't think past a lot of different levels. So a lot of times we don't know how to just say, this is what bothering me, this is why I'm doing this. And then when your parents don't give you an open floor to talk, you hide everything that you're feeling.
Yeah.
And then it comes out in other ways.
Yeah.
Either their grades are dropping, or they out being promiscuous, or they out hurting other people,
That's a
or they
definitely
bullying
sign.
someone else, or they're keeping their room a certain way. They're being disrespectful to their parents. There's something that's going to show you that I am angry with you. And since I'm angry at my home life, I'm going to act out everywhere that I'm at. And there's not going to be any controlling. So even if I'm getting bullied at school, I can't come home and tell you that, because if I come home and tell you that I'm getting bullied, the first thing you're going to tell me, well, why you can't fight? The first thing you're going to do is make it about me and my fault. You're not listening to the fact that this person is hurting me. You're looking at the fact of what I'm not doing.
Right.
And a lot of times we begin to blame our kids. And so they begin to internalize that, and then they back off. Like they say, the first hurt that a child experiences is from their parents.
Surely
So
is.
everything that happens starts with the heart, because kids don't process in their brains when they're little. They only process by the heart. When you hurt the heart, you're messing up the whole mind after that. And so that's where people
Still
forget,
as adults.
and they lose it right there. And that's exactly. So you have a bunch of adults that's still in kids' bodies. So they still living a kid life, but they think they're
That's because
adults.
the childhood shapes.
It
everything.
shapes your
And
life.
your whole trajectory. Your childhood it however your childhood is. But you know what? I hate to say that, because it is those rare cases. I was actually speaking on this. It is those rare cases where you can give a child everything and they still do
their own thing.
Do their own thing. We're not talking about those rare cases. We're actually talking about those cases where things did happen in your childhood and it was never addressed. You never felt comfortable speaking to your parent about something. You know what I mean? And again, like I say, I do feel like it's no, so much, not so much. Again, everything. I always say everything happened to you. You can go back to your childhood to figure it out. I even like right now, what me and my husband are doing, we actually do therapy when we talk to each other. So what was the trigger? We actually changed the language of we can still have a blowout argument. Then we got to come back. Once we talk, we got to talk like therapists to each other. Now, what was it that triggered that? Why did you feel that way? Now, after you felt that way, we're literally speaking to each other like that, because we're trying to figure out, okay, we both know we're both crazy. So let's go back.
Right.
Let's go and kind of take the steps to see how we don't go this far again, because we know we can go both on the edge real quick. And so you really got to see what are your triggers. And once you learn your triggers, not only in yourself, but also in your kids, teach your kids triggers. I think that is the key.
Right.
What triggered you to feel that way? Because you could be having a happy moment, and then you got molested by somebody, but before he molested you, he took you to eat orange sherbet ice cream, and you see some kid eating orange sherbet ice cream, and now you sunken in this dark place. You're like, what's wrong with her?
Right.
You know what I mean? What was the trigger? You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure out, tell these kids, find out these triggers, because it's really not you, it's the situation. And I think if people start placing their faults on the situation, not themselves, they can get over it.
But at the same time, it's like the same as like,
But they need to
say what a
recognize it.
noun is, a person placing things.
Right.
And that's the same way
Right,
that you're
right,
dealing with
right.
issues, is understanding the person, the place, and the thing.
Right,
What
right.
was it? What was the thing that led you to that response in your life?
Right.
What was it that got you here? What made you think that this was okay? A lot of times we live our lives according to how we was raised, and then we place it on our kids.
You sure
What
do.
about generational? Like, what if mental illness runs in the family? What if your grandma was
Oh, that
mentally
is
ill?
true.
What
Yeah.
if your uncles? What if what if everyone's mentally ill?
Literally.
Right? So what if everyone's mentally ill and you sitting there batshit crazy like everybody else, right?
Literally.
And you're
Literally.
looking like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We are normal.
You know what I'm saying?
And a normal person in the house. It takes a friend to come up and say, "What the hell is this?"
So what if you're the last? What if you're the
last
last
to
of
know?
a dying breed, and you kind of gotta open that eye, like maybe it's something wrong with these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you say to that person, or what do you say to even that kid that they mama batshit crazy, their daddy batshit crazy,
And it happens.
Their grandma is evil and batshit. You know what I'm saying?
The
What do
thing
you
is,
say?
the problem is that we don't have the real conversations, and we don't tell each other the truth. We tell each other what we think that person wants to hear and need to hear at the moment, but we don't tell the truth and just saying, look, there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
You've been doing X, Y, and Z for way too long, and because you did X, Y, and Z, I looked at it and felt that was normal, and I come to realize that it's not normal.
It's not
and
normal.
everybody in this household been doing the exact same thing, and we have not got help. And so the one thing, like my daughter told me, she was, Mom, you never took me back for counseling. You took me to counseling here and there, then you didn't take me back. I didn't take her back because of my own fear. Because what the lady was talking about with my daughter during counseling it struck a nerve in my ex-husband. And because it struck that nerve in him, it made him angry, and he cursed at the lady, and it was so embarrassing to me that it shamed me for wanting to go back and take her there. Because the lady looked at me and she simply said, if he's hurting you, you can get help. And I knew then she knew my secret. And because of my secret was out now to this woman, I refused to go back to see her. And it left me to leave my daughter in a place of being vulnerable and needing the help that she needed. But I couldn't see past my pain to get her the help that she needed. And that's because that's what we do as people. We become ashamed of what's going on and what our kids have shared with someone else. And we no longer want to participate anymore. And so now our kids are suffering based on the fact of my feelings and based on the fact of my trigger. And so now I have changed the dynamics of the whole entire situation.
Ain't that something? Yeah, guy. I mean, this is deep. I mean, this affects so many households that don't speak on it. This affects so many kids. This affects so many marriages. This affects all. I think
business partners,
all relationships.
All
This
relationships.
mental health affects all relationships, and like I say, that's why they always say money ain't everything. So people can have the world. Just like what's the woman Anne Klein. Committed suicide. Had $100 million in the bank. Committed suicide. You know, things of that nature. It just money isn't everything.
Was it Anne Klein or was it Kate Spade?
Girl, yeah, yes it was.
Honey, when she said Anne Klein,
That's what y'all look at.
I just got the suitcase and rolled away, honey, because I didn't know what to do with my body.
Anne Klein, please don't call in or have your own. Don't troll us tonight. She made a mistake. It was Kate Spade, guys, and we're going to correct that right now.
Honey, just roll me away.
Right.
You rolled your chair up the studio.
She just kind of looked at me like,
why you looking at me?
First of all, a big part of me is who is Anne Klein. So I would say that, honey.
yeah, she didn't commit suicide.
I'm a millennial. I don't know. That sounds like something 1983. I don't know who's
Anne Klein is very old.
Okay.
Okay, well, anyway, baby. Kate Spade. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
And the same as with Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah. Robin Williams. You know, it just money. I'm telling you, if your mental state ain't right, nothing is right.
Right.
I don't care what's in your bank account. I don't care what's going on in your life. If your mental state ain't right from a child, definitely to an adult, nothing flows.
And if you getting right and your family don't fuck with you, fuck them.
Oh.
Exactly.
Period.
But it's the truth. And sometimes you have to separate yourself from your family. Just because this is your line of people doesn't mean that you have to be
It's
around
okay
them.
to cut off.
It is okay.
I'm comfortable with that.
Honey.
It's okay to cut off, and sometimes you have to because
neighbors.
everybody don't mean you any good. Everybody's not there for your good. Some people are there for your downfall only, and they can be your family, and they only there for your downfall.
Everybody don't belong in your front row. Everybody
No.
don't belong to see everything that's going good in your life. Everybody don't need an update. Everybody don't need everybody don't need to see that because everybody's not for you. And I'm such a big I'm a big believer on energy. I am. People put out so much negative energy on you. You be like, damn, why am I having a bad day? Because you posted a nice picture of you sitting in the park smiling. Now everybody
with 10 likes. No, you should get out 200.
Girl, I know. I had one picture. I got to say this. I had one picture on Facebook. And I know I was looking real fly. I know I was looking fly. I mean, I was looking fly. Okay. I got 16 likes. I said, wait a minute. And then somebody posts a picture of them sitting in the
Looking
car
real
with bad lighting.
Look
Bad
real
light.
bad.
They looked real bad. I ain't gonna say nothing. But you know what?
My picture is because I took a couple of pictures in the car.
No, everybody take pictures in the car. But I'm just thinking, like, you
real
know
bad.
what?
She
But
showed
I
me.
was fly. I didn't put no filters or nothing.
It was just realness.
It was just like hot with like 8 T's behind it. And I'm like, 16 likes? Like, are you serious? I said, you know what? Facebook is a fraud. I know, everybody on Facebook is frauds and they're jealous. That's what I put. That's how I just named social media. I'm done.
Now you see why mental
I'm
illness exists.
I'm done with social media because this can't be real.
It happens. It happens.
That's why
I haven't
about my
experienced that, but it happens.
You haven't experienced it?
No.
That's
So
what
you
I
have
would
a
get
lot.
more than 16 likes.
You have a lot. You have
fam.
you have a lot of family to support you and
that
things like
support
that.
you.
I don't. They
don't.
just fake.
But
No, well, at least
No,
they
I have a
like-
lot of family that support me.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Y'all wear shirts and shit.
Yeah, at y'all
All
family
the
functions.
time.
Lucinda, T is still mad about these shirts.
Who's
Girl.
T, Cleo Blue. Lucinda, are you still there? I think she's off now.
Bye.
Bye, babe. Bye, caller. Call back next time.
Right.
But yeah, you
But,
know what? It's
yeah.
I do.
But that's the thing, and that's what we should not base our life around of how many likes, because I feel like I'm looking some type of way. Don't base what you put down for people to like it, because
Oh, I said it was fraud.
and that's the problem. And people
I know that wasn't
they
real.
get stuck on that, and that's why you got all these
I posted a
Instagram
picture
models and
no one liked it. I said
Right.
the status. It was really
and
baby,
this-
I know who I
and,
am.
and you know
You
what?
got
But
stuff.
who's paying
Self-worth.
attention to this stuff is kids.
Yes,
Because they're
they
looking
do.
to see how many likes they get.
do.
They're looking to see how many friends they can
They're
have,
16,
and so they
damn
want to
likes.
have. They want to have 100. They want to have 100K, 1K. As followers on
Right,
Instagram
right,
and
right,
people that
right.
they don't know, and they want to have all this fame because they feel this is where is it at, because people have made things that's not realistic look real, and so we begin to chase after what's not real. And we think that's what's real because it looks good, because I'm showing my body, I'm showing this, and I need to look good. And this is the way that I get attention. This is the way people notice me. If I
Right.
dress a particular type of way, if I wear my hair a particular type of way, instead of just being true to themselves, we have
Real you.
forgotten how to be true to us and live in our natural states.
You know how powerful that is to be you?
They don't understand how powerful it is to be you.
Authentically you.
I just learned.
But some people don't know
It's
they
powerful.
don't
Yeah.
they don't
I
think
sing
they
better.
have any power. So when you don't think you have power, you don't live in your power.
You don't.
You live beneath
You don't
it.
talk in it. You
No.
don't walk in it. You don't
You
look
live
like
beneath
it.
it.
Yeah, you don't look
You
confident.
don't work confidently. You don't do nothing
No.
confidently.
You can't
You
cuss
don't.
people out good.
You ain't got no. I ain't
Well, I
had-
don't know. Sometimes they do, and they be terrible though. But they
No, some people really
they
don't
just-
cuss out people real good. But like when you confident, you can cuss out people real good.
But you didn't have to cuss them out. You can just say some words that hurt
You
their
could-
feelings
when
without saying one single
when
cuss
you
word.
confident, I could cuss people out very professionally.
You know who was good with that though? Phaedra Parks. I'm sorry. She may be something else on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She ain't on there anymore. But she would cut you with her tongue real quick and haven't said a cuss word. And you be sitting there looking like, did she just
I
do
can
me
do
like that?
I've been told I'm very great at cussing people out professionally. That is such a skill that I've grown into, and I love it.
I can't take her tonight.
I love cussing people out professionally. It's
How
like
you love cussing out people professionally?
because you can't check me on it, because you know it's some bull crap, first of all, because I'm coming at you coming at you with facts. When you cuss people out, it's facts behind everything I'm saying. It's like
like
I'm
the one
telling
time we did in that meeting
oh baby,
with them two media ladies.
baby,
They was looking at us like, and we didn't say a curse word because we was inside of a meeting, but they knew exactly where we was going, and no one can say anything but we need to talk to y'all after this meeting.
That's
because we
it.
cut into them so hard.
professionally. It's
professional.
such a skill that everyone. But again, you got to be confident who you are. Of
Honey,
such a
this is verbal and through emails.
Email cussing out is really good.
Oh my God!
But verbal is better than email, because email could be, you could people can kind of like go back. I don't like
we
all
went
that.
completely off topic with Nita and her confidence.
and lack of likes on Facebook.
Right,
But
right.
it's
But my
not-
husband tells me, he's like, these are the most likes I have ever gotten on Facebook. Every time I have a picture with you. I was like, this is sad, but it is. It is, but it's like you say, it's the support, and that's how you support. When you support other people
In
and
my
you like
mind,
their
I
stuff, they will
take
like
it
your
as-
stuff.
I take it as me being too fleeky. Okay,
Oh, okay.
That's what I said.
honey,
baby,
I
'cause
said the highlighter was popping. I should have got more than 10 likes.
I know. It'd be like. You know what? I don't know, but that says the testament of who my surroundings is.
But then also too, Do you like their stuff?
No.
If you don't like their stuff, people are not going to come back and like yours.
That is true.
I'm
not even on.
I already know what it is.
I'm not on social media. I'm not on social
and
media.
that's
like
the problem.
that.
So when you don't like other people's stuff or send out congratulations or happy birthdays or
be a
hey,
mess.
that
I
looks
do
good.
that once in a while.
But see, that's the problem. So when you put stuff on there, ain't nobody
We
checking
gotta
for
do
you.
better, Talk Juicy. We gotta.
You gotta do better.
love.
So you gotta show love in order to get love, and that's where it comes in.
I'm
at.
okay with it. You know what? Just follow on some Talk Juicy. And I'm okay. I don't need anything personal. I'm okay with my own love.
The thing is
myself.
this: love is a very powerful thing. The first thing that we learn to do is to love. Once we lose that, we lose our generation, we lose our people, we lose touch.
Love through the turmoil. Like
have
even
to
loving
love.
yourself when it's ugly. Now that no one.
Self-love is a big, huge thing
Did
in
nobody
life.
tell you how ugly you get with yourself? Right?
Yeah.
You kind of see how ugly it get when you in a relationship and
By
your
yourself?
siblings. Loving yourself? I didn't know. I didn't know I was supposed to love myself. It would have got ugly.
It hurts.
Yeah,
You hurt yourself.
Yeah,
You will.
It hurts.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
but the best thing you can do is to give love in order to receive love.
Yeah, but you again, that is true. But you first have to love yourself. You
got to love
if
you.
if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else.
Take a
really.
bath.
You
I'm
can't.
telling y'all, a bath is powerful.
It is.
A bath.
But you know what also is powerful that sometimes people take for granted? Sometimes just going and sitting by the water because it's calming.
Yeah.
You know, we like to listen to it, to meditate to it, but sometimes if you just go out and just sit and you begin to
I
actually
might
watch.
levitate. I'm scared.
If you sit there and you watch nature at work, you see the birds, you see the bugs, you see the trees, you see the water, you see all these different things. And how they don't have these worries that we have. But at the same time, they're living the exact same life that we're living. The difference is we can't talk to them to know what they're experiencing, what's going on. If that bird really fell off the tree to commit suicide, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't read their mind exactly as they can't read ours. But it's so awesome to sit and watch and see how they commune with each other, how they begin to help each other. If you notice, and one thing that we don't pay attention to, and in the Bible it speaks about it, is to pay attention to the ants. How they begin together with each other when they trying to carry, I don't care if it's a piece of crumb, but they work together to make something happen. We bypass that, and we see ants on the ground all the time. They be gathered up together, and we mad about it. We want to step on every last one of them. Or we want to, well, with me, I come out there and I spray them on, and I feel bad, like, God dang, I just killed the whole family. But they come together, generations of people, grandma and granddaddy, all of them there. But they come together to support each other for a divine purpose.
Yeah.
And we don't look at what's their divine purpose. They have a purpose just like we all have a purpose.
You talking about ants?
I'm talking about ants. They have a purpose, baby. They serve a purpose, but you know you be wondering what that purpose might be. But when you
don't
watch
like the
them
black ants,
and
they're too
how
strong.
they are strong, but they be carrying that little piece of crumb that you drop, but it's gonna feed the whole army of them. But they know how to work together and they know how to share.
Yeah.
We don't do that as people. We keep
don't.
everything to ourselves, every secret, everything that we need.
We don't
We hold it.
trust.
We don't trust at all. And because if I made it, I don't want you to make it, so I'm not going to tell you my secret how I got here. I'm not going to help pull you up. I'm going to let you stay where you at because, I worked hard for what I got. You need to learn to work hard too. That's not always the answer.
That is the truth, though. A lot of people do that.
They do that. That's not the answer. We have to learn that, as they said in the old days, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village, period. Not just to raise a child, but to help everybody
live.
out to
To
live.
live.
It takes a village.
It
And we
ain't-
need to learn to be more proactive and help each other. And also, let me just make this last point. Understand that when people want to commit suicide, they're not going to tell you. They will tell you leading up to the fact. But when they're ready to make that actual commitment,
You'll never know.
you'll never know.
They smile. They eat dinner.
They'll do a lot of different things. They'll look at you probably, what they will begin to do is give you their items. So when people begin to pass on different things to you and say, oh, you want this, you can have that. Oh, you like that, you can take that. Here, get us to this person and this. They begin to give their things away because they preparing their lives to move on. They're not going to tell you. They'll tell you in some emphasis, I'm going to kill myself and I'm going to do this. A lot
That's
of
a
times
cry for
those are
help.
your cries.
Cries for
And
help.
sometimes it's just people who just blowing smoke because they
Yeah.
just feel this is going to
They
be
ain't
my
gonna tell
answer.
you. They ain't
But
gonna
when
tell
they actually ready to commit suicide and they say, this is it for me, they're not going to tell you that I'm about to leave this world.
That's true.
They just going to go ahead and take their lives because guess what? The same as an addict, they don't want to be stopped.
Do we have
Yeah.
a way for our listeners to connect with someone to speak with?
Yeah, you know
Yes.
what? Yeah, it is. You know what? And I always say this. I heard it from a pastor. I forgot. He's a known pastor. I forgot his name. Oh, gosh. But a suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. You know, it was once you do it, it ain't no undoing.
That's
That's
right.
it. That's the final answer. And most problems can be temporary if you seek out help. You know, sometimes they don't seem temporary because you've been dealing with it for years on years on years. But it's the fact that you never got the proper tools to deal with your issues, to deal with your mental health, to deal with people trying to pull you out that sunken place or surrounding you. Unfortunately,
Or
people.
find a new path.
No,
There's
it's
many
not so much you
paths.
can't even see a path right
that
now
is very
because
true.
you can't
Yeah,
see
you
a
don't see
path.
it.
I can't see my path right now because I've been so consumed
Yeah,
with
that's
so
true.
much stress.
That's true.
Since a child, I've been seeing so much issues. I've been so much tiredness and so much
That's
death,
true.
so much
Well, how about this? I
sadness.
just feel my life sucks.
It's hard.
Every time I try to come up, I get
can't-
knocked back down.
Yeah, it's
and
just that's a real feeling though.
It
I mean,
is.
I
It
felt
is.
that. I felt like, oh my God, I feel like I'm painting myself against a wall. You know, you gotta pray, God, please order my steps. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. Guidance, guidance of what's going on. You know, I need help. You know, and so it's like I think we all have personally felt that to a certain extent. It may not be an extreme of suicide, but I think everybody have felt that dark place. We hear it. We're humans.
Right.
It's very normal, and that's the thing about mental illness. People feel that they're alone, but it's very normal to feel that. But where you need to seek help when you can't shake it.
right.
That's when you really need to seek help. But it is help. Like I say, is most insurance, even if you don't have. Even if you're on Medicaid, you can seek help. Even if you don't have insurance, you still can seek help. And it's definitely numbers to call. Again, we do have a therapist on our show.
They can call me.
They can call and contact us. But also, there's a mental health crisis hotline. It's free, and it's 24 hours, 7 days a week, and it's on mentalhealthline.org. And you can reach them at 844-549-4266. Again, the number is 844-549-4266. And, I just say seek help. Even if it's not for yourself, if it's for a loved one, especially your children, please, guys. I know everyone say, oh, he's just so sucked in his phone. He's so tired. No, really not. It's just a way just to isolate themselves. You know what? Because I always got to do a check with my daughter. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Leave the door open.
Right.
What? I got to check on her just like a little kid, that's a toddler, that's quiet.
Have to keep an eye on them.
Keep an eye on your teens as well. I don't care if they're teens. As long as you're in my house, I'm watching you.
Right.
Know that I'm watching you. Know that we're aware that what's going on. We know that I'm questioning what you're going. I'm always going to ask you, how was your day? What's going on with your friends?
Right.
I know all the friend drama, and I love it. I'm keep me in the
There's a
drama.
lot of it.
Keep me in
Girl,
that.
with
Keep me in your
girls-
drama. I want to know what's going on in that drama because that steers a lot.
Exactly.
That steers a lot of like the sad story of the young lady in Detroit. What was it last year? Killed these were honor roll students.
Oh, yeah.
Killed her
Over a boy.
over a boy. Mental health issues.
Yes.
Okay, it shouldn't take you to kill somebody because I'm mad because they're dating some. You know what I mean? And they were
Exactly.
actually friends. So it's deep. I
It
need to
is.
know what's going on. I need to know all the drama that's going on in your life.
Right.
Please bring it to me because I can help filter out what's going on.
Exactly.
Because again, they said a child brain isn't developed till they're 25.
Today, 25.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Literally.
to long time to
And
to
don't-
screw up a
and-
lot, to make a lot of bad decisions.
Right. Don't feel bad because sometimes as they become teenagers, they stop listening to you at times. Doesn't mean they don't hear you, but sometimes you have to allow them to grow.
Yeah.
But you still stay in their ear and you still keep giving them the good words. But don't give up and don't stop.
No.
Keep fighting for your
They
child.
remember. Kids remember everything.
Everything.
Even when you're going through something, and when someone talk to you, I could talk to somebody and tell them something years ago. They'd be like, hey, Nada, what was that information you gave me?
Yeah.
You would think that they weren't even listening to you. Like, oh, girl, it was such and
Right.
such and such.
But they hear you.
They hear you, but
That's why you don't give up.
Don't give up on people. Don't give up on your child. Don't give up on your loved one. Even if someone passing by, you can see someone down and out. hey, how you doing? You know, I pass out a resource to anybody. You know, you can look at somebody's face and see that they going through something. You know,
Right.
you never know what a kind word can do to somebody, even
That's
a
right.
stranger.
Never miss the opportunity
Pass
to say
love,
something
give
nice.
love.
Never
Be
miss an
love.
opportunity to be a good person, to be a thoughtful person, to be a loving person. Because not only do it help them, but it also help you. You be shocked at how you feel. Like, man, that felt good. Now you know. Now you have a purpose. How about that?
Right.
Now you know what you're supposed to be doing in life. You're supposed to be helping people. You know. But it's always good to do that. So again, seek out help, guys. Don't feel alone because we're not meant to be alone in this world. We're here to help each other.
Connect, share energy.
Share energy. And also, if you need help with us, you know, we can help you also with your issues. You can reach us
Call
on.
me. I got a small circle.
It is very,
Very small, honey.
It's very small and tight.
Looking to recruit people every day.
Girl, sometimes it's best to keep it small.
It's small
No,
and tight.
it's real tight.
Oh, okay.
And
I think it curved right here. Me, you, Dave.
That's it.
that's it. It starts to get
Honey.
tight. That's it. Right here.
I question people who they trying to get in too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely a serious
Tell them a
screening
joke. If they
process.
don't laugh, they don't get in.
Oh, you're not worth it.
You're
All
not
right,
worth it.
have
You're
a
not
good
worth
one.
my
Do you
time.
drink Tito's?
Yeah.
Nope. Gotta
Listen,
go.
you gotta go. But please, you guys, you can reach us on TalkJuicyDetroit at gmail.com. Is that it? TalkJuicyDetroit at gmail.com. You can reach us on Facebook at TalkJuicyDetroit. On Twitter, which I still need help with, TalkJuicy313. Okay? Until next time, guys, always keep it juicy and always seek out help. Again,
You deserve it.
you deserve it. You know, you're not alone. And don't feel like, you know, this world is just, you're a bad person and
It's
nothing good can
summertime. Be
ever
lit.
happen to you. It is going to happen to you, but just know that you can seek out help. And if you don't have nobody to seek out, you can call us. We can help you.
Girl,
That's
please.
right.
Somebody call me.
Peace,
So
love, and
somebody, you
happiness.
just want somebody to call her.
Somebody call Cleola.
All right, guys. See you guys next time.
Toodles. That's funny.
Just call me. Say hello. Say something.
Dave don't respond to 8 days later. Say, oh shit.
She told me she called you, T.